I do this... Ah! We're live!
We're live now?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, let's go. Give me the camera.
Okay, so now it's... Wait, no, hang on.
What?
I'm looking at video on the YouTube stream.
Is it still
on?
I'm watching it live on the phone. Is it... How does it look? It's loading.
Okay.
On the YouTube stream. Is it still going? Hi, guys.
So I think it's dropping in and out, but it's reconnecting to the stream. So it's a bit choppy because it's on my... Go back and forth.
Okay. Oh, maybe it's too far from your... It's loading. Fucking convenient excuse. So if we don't...
Showing me it's having good bars. Why is it loading like crap?
Yeah, I don't know.
Convenient excuse. Alright. Test 2. If this comes up, then we're working, and we're good to go.
Oh, man. The signal is definitely going to play. Okay, I think we're live.
Yeah, I think we're live.
Again, I think we're unfortunately, like you said...
Yeah, turn...
It's
All right.
we got it. Now I can turn this off here.
Yeah, turn the audio down, but monitor the chat.
Yep, we got it. All right.
Oh, man. Hi, guys.
Hi,
that was an adventure to figure out.
We're in the middle of rural Virginia, on our way down to, pronounce the name of this game.
The Zaporizhia Insurgency.
Ooh, that
That
was
one.
nice.
That is good.
Yeah, I think that's how you say that.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can tell you otherwise.
I'm going to say Zaporizhia. So...
Zip Zap.
Yeah,
Zip
Zap.
Zap, I think, is what the cool kids are calling it.
We are going to cut in and out a little as
right.
signal happens. I see your comment. But just keep watching, ask questions. We'll get better signal as we go.
Yeah, we'll try to.
We're a little rural in this
And
exact
it's off a
moment.
hotspot on a phone, so unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's what we're getting.
But ask your questions.
But also, we have a subject to start with.
okay,
if people
go.
don't have questions, I was gonna say one of the things that I was thinking about a lot coming into this game was about like why you would come to this type of game and want to role play a civilian.
I have no idea why I do the things I do, but that's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about like
Yeah.
we're going and all of us in this car role playing civilians. By the way, introductions. If you don't know who we are, I'm Eric.
Lutz.
Camera Ninja.
Yeah, we're just gonna call him Richard the whole time though,
That
because
works, too.
that's way shorter and
It's only
easier
one
to
word.
say.
You
And
won't find me on social media like that. but-
no. Thank you to Camera Ninja for using his camera like a ninja to run the stream while we're in
Speaking of,
trappic.
do you want your mic? This is
Yeah,
just...
let's.
All right, what's up?
That back ring on the...
Yeah, lighten it up a little.
Yeah. That's good.
There we go.
That's
There we
good.
go.
Perfect. But
Of
yeah.
course the sun goes away as soon as we do that.
I know.
But yeah, so in terms of why you would want to play a civilian, like what would be the main thing that you would say drove your decision for why to play civilian?
Just because we do so many Force on Force games, and I love them, it's just a nice change of pace. I do, if you're talking Milson West, I do like the spoil of, we were talking about it at the last stop, about being able to just like...
Oh, is that going, or are we totally
oh no, we're
not
good,
live?
we're good. I just,
All right,
I shut my phone off for 2 seconds. Right?
Yeah.
All right, good.
To be able to be like, oh man, I'm just exhausted. I'm going to go lay down for an hour. And that's fine. There's no movements. There's nothing. You go at your own pace, which is a nice break from the norm, especially when I stupidly keep putting myself in like leadership positions where you constantly...
Well, yeah, you were
have to do
RTO
stuff.
for ball car.
Yeah, I was like, I won't be leadership, and I was RTO, which was even less sleep because I was just monitoring a radio 24/7. It's stupid. But yeah, besides like the rest and all that, like just the opportunity to kind of do more of the LARPy side of it is I think a fun thing to try.
Yeah. I mean, that for me is the real driver, is I like being able to go and interact with like the different shopkeeps, the different businesses, the different factions, and they all have their own agendas. There's all different things everybody's trying to do, and you get to really interact with a lot of people. And for me, honestly, it's basically just a weekend-long convention/party to just see and hang out with people that like I get to see at Force on Force games, but half the time it's like, oh, hey man, how you doing at the AAR or something, rather than like here you get to actually like role play together and chill out and relax, and everyone's usually, I mean, granted, there's violence. Like, of course, you get shot.
There's always violence.
Yeah, you get shot at and you might do some shooting back, depending on how things go. But I like just the creativity of all the people who come and the characters and the stuff that people do. You know, you had the club last year, which was so fun. We're doing Wolf Cola again.
Always Wolf Cola.
Yeah, well,
Well, last run for a while at least.
Yeah, we're
Start
gonna give Wolf Cola a little bit of a rest after this one, just so we can explore some
As
other
with
ideas.
any good story, this is a trilogy, and this is the third run. Maybe we'll go to a prequel, you know. Let's give it a year.
3 more movies that happen afterwards.
Yeah,
I think beforehand.
we'll get up there, but we gotta take a little break from Wolf Cola. Eric, someone asked what game we're going to. He missed the beginning. Give the name
We're going
again.
to Milsim West, the Zaporizhia Insurgency, or Zip Zap. For
Zip
short.
Zaps.
Or the ZP or the whatever.
Yeah.
But Richard, you didn't answer the question.
Yeah, I was about to say, for me, it was actually like sort of a, like almost a fear of whatnot. Of like the Force and 4 stuff in Milsom West looks cool, but it looks so daunting for somebody who's never done something like that.
Well, you were going to do ball car as your first one almost.
and that was half the reason why I did it, was because when we talked it over to you, and you invited me to do this one, I was like, oh, forget ball car. I'll do this one hands down.
Yeah.
Because look at ball car I was looking at because it was the closest one.
Yeah.
Not because I wanted to do it, because not that it's bad, but like it's so daunting. It's so much stuff you need to have packed away. It needs to be packed just right. You need to have all this gear and stuff, and it's like, I don't have that.
And like the practice for rucking and everything was going to be super relevant.
You can't
for
just,
that one.
show up like an open play and be like, oh, I'll figure this out. Like,
Were you in on the discussions where people are like, oh, what should I do to get ready? And like me and Eric and everyone's like, well, you should probably just be rocking like 12 miles with like 50 pounds. You're like, maybe not that one.
I'd hear stuff like that and I'd be like, I can't, maybe, again, it's like maybe I'd film and I'd, bounce, midway through. Like, I'm not walking up there. I'll wait for you guys to walk back down and I'll film you guys there. But like, and then it's also for me in terms of filming, because that's what I do most of the time at Airsoft stuff. Like same thing with like Omega production, same thing with like Overture, I want the interactions between people that happen.
Sure.
To me, that's way more interesting to film than combat to a point.
Yeah.
And so you have, like Eric said, a convention where you've got people all, one hopes, ready to sort of role play, because why else would you show up?
Yeah.
With like a case of grenades or something.
Well, I mean, even then, like done right, that can make for a lot of fun interactions.
But like, so it's fun, getting just to sort of show up and film basically anything happening, and it's gonna be interesting to a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna.
Now we got this on it.
There you go.
We're a little washy-washy.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. I've seen like a lot of the. I'm excited for like the structure of this game compared to other games. I don't want to like spill too much of the secret sauce if you're not in the civilian group for this game. Sorry, no intel for the military factions that are watching.
Fuck off. However, what I can share with you, I saw someone mention Diet Wolf Cola. What I can tell you is, first of all, these games are not about keeping ourselves healthy, so no, there will be no diet products from Wolf Cola.
I mean, we could grab a couple of 12 packs of diet. That wouldn't be
I guess.
I think it's not a bad idea. We could grab some.
You could also get a syrup thing, because I was gonna say what we do have is
welcome to my world of adjusting the lighting every 10 seconds.
It's fine. we have a soda stream this year.
Yeah, we do. We're gonna have craft made.
We're gonna make
Wolf Colas.
Yeah.
Small handmade batches.
Yes. Myself and Steve will be there serving handmade batches of soda throughout the day. Please, if you're going, please stop by.
Yeah, and if you're, Wolf Cola, we take our commitment to our customers very seriously. We, as a company, are trying to rebrand and not be quite so controversial.
We're not trying. We are succeeding. No controversy.
Well, but we acknowledge
not be controversial.
We acknowledge that other branches of Wolf Cola in the past have taken actions and done things that may or may not have caused different levels of offense or potentially bodily harm.
Or political destabilization, whatever.
Yeah, so we are offering, as part of a class action settlement, to all residents of the Saratov Oblast to present a valid photo ID, one refreshing Wolf Cola in exchange for your pain and suffering at the hands of our brand in the past.
Yes, we understand it was rough, but this is adequate compensation for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We believe that will be adequate representations for all of our misdeeds as handled by rogue local. Oh, it's catching up?
Yes,
and again,
that's good. Yeah, you
it's
just got a little...
getting better.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. How much of my spiel did it miss?
Almost all of it, actually. No, it almost did all of it.
Oh, perfect.
No, it did not miss all of it.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. right.
Nice.
Hey.
Though it would be kind of funny if you disconnected.
Yeah, like right as I was talking.
All right. Bryson asks, and I think I already know the answer, but
What?
I'll give him the official answer. He goes, "Hey, E-House, I'm in the market for a DCU BDU top with raid mods. Where'd you pick yours up from? Did you get yours from where I think you got yours from?"
eBay.
Oh, okay. eBay's actually the best bet. Do eBay. A bunch of us have gotten ours from a private manufacturer, but he really doesn't do them for most people because he hates doing them. But I work with him, so I make him do it.
No, my DCU raid top was that was an eBay buy. Like,
Okay.
I don't know how many years ago.
All mine have been Maddie.
I was also gonna say, like, honestly, you could hand stitch a raid mod if you're comfortable with it. Just get like a decent like strong coat thread or something like that,
Yeah.
and it'll be durable enough. It'll look rough, but a lot of raid mods are hand done. So
a lot of original raid mods, like the early ones, were honestly done like in country by like locals by hand. So
yeah, I was gonna say honestly,
yeah.
like as weird as it sounds, if you have a local tailor, they might be able to do it.
Got some question here. Did you ever go to any events in Europe? What's your opinion on European milsim events?
I've not been to Europe, so I can't say as I have a particularly strong opinion on any of them. What I will say that I think is really cool about European milsim events, one of the things I think the U.S. Could almost, I mean, I don't know how we would do it here, because I feel like in Europe it's a different vibe, right? Like,
Yeah.
airsoft is a little different in Europe in the way that it's handled, and the way that it's done, and
It also feels like it has an older player base. From
well, it
what I
has
see.
an older,
I don't
it
know
has
if
an
that's
older
true, but-
player base, and I think that it also is like a little bit more publicly
Accepted.
because like, you know, some of the big airsoft games or milsim games in Europe use like full towns.
I'm just saying, a lot of them have almost a reenactment aspect to them.
Yeah.
Where they're like, using old towns and like
Yeah.
bunkers and stuff.
Yeah, we didn't have anything like that. We have like,
We have training facilities that are
Yeah.
really cool,
yeah,
and like
Abandoned
huge pieces of
buildings.
property.
Yeah.
But having like full built up like towns and,
Yeah.
and stuff like that—that's something that we don't have. I would love, like, I mean, I using the word love is funny. I would love to play airsoft at Love Canal. Love Canal, like, I know it's a
yeah.
biohazard cesspit.
I just
and
got my
it's-
mop suit. It's fine. I'm good to go.
Yeah, but the thing is, as long as you don't drink any of the local water or like spend significant amount of time in any basements, it's probably safe enough to be there in the city area for a little while. But
Yeah.
there's no way we're ever getting that approved. But yeah, I mean, also the use of armored vehicles. There's a lot more armored vehicles
Yeah.
that get involved, like, especially in those Russian events.
Also,
Yeah.
if I'll give you something that I'm a little jealous of, I mean, I don't know how it is moving airsoft stuff between countries in Europe. I'm sure there's more to it than moving between states here, as there's nothing. We're crossing 4 states so far today.
Well, the EU, I think that was kind of the point
yeah.
of the EU.
Just to make that easier. But like, what can be frustrating over here is there'll be awesome games on the West Coast, and there's just no way you're driving. You gotta
Yeah.
fly, and I just don't have the time or the money to add in flights most of the time. So,
Yeah.
I
So
feel like-
instead, here we are driving 12 hours today.
first of all, everyone keeps paring this down, and I will not accept
well,
it.
it's 12 hours today from
Oh,
Binghamton.
From
No,
Binghamton, but we had to
he
drive to
was complaining-
Binghamton, and that was another 2 hours.
Okay, so
Oh,
we're
It's
at
14 hours
I
today.
drove 5 hours this morning.
Yeah, that's
Are we
gross.
gonna compare?
It's 17 hours. That's what I'm saying. Stop paring it down to 12. You've done
I want
worse.
to pretend it didn't happen.
Oh, no.
Trauma.
No,
I put lock it deep inside of me and I pretend it never happened.
No, it happened. It sucked. All right, hold on. We got
You have some stuff you
we
need to talk about, man? Should we
Uh,
turn off the camera?
Yeah.
All right, Bryson. Yes, I'm talking about Engage. Please do not inundate him with questions about about getting raid mods. He's gonna kill me.
No, what you should do is you should bully.
Yeah.
Is it? Are we?
No, it's just like 10 seconds or whatever.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
It cuts
Yeah,
out.
it just
No, it's
pops
all
in
right
and
back.
out
It's
or
all right back.
whatever.
It's all right back.
All right,
Honestly,
perfect.
Okay. Hi, we're here, real quick. We're just in between a couple shitty cell towers, but I promise it tells.
There we go. We're back. We're back.
Okay.
We got planes coming up.
Oh yeah, it's open out here.
Yeah, hopefully
We
this'll
got
work.
golden hours. This is a very kind of stream.
Yeah. Anyway, do we have any other questions?
A couple people were just mentioning about the European thing about ages are like 18 plus or 16 plus. Oh, here's a question. This is stupid. Where's Ian? Ian is on hour 7 of sleeping on this trip. He's not even in this car. He's back there in another car.
He's
Yeah,
probably
Ian is in Dan's car.
Yeah, a mile behind us.
Yeah, we have like 9 people in this convoy. We got a lot of people. So Ian is in Dan's car back there with the other D-gens.
Yeah, that is the D-gen from Upcountry car.
Yeah, but with the European airsoft thing, with 18 plus and whatnot, yeah, that's the thing. A lot of their events cap out. Like, they don't let anyone under 18, but I'll be real with you.
The 14 and 15-year-olds aren't my problem. It's the young 20s that
Yeah.
cause the problem.
The zoomies.
Yeah, it's like people, and I only crap on this age group because I remember being that age group.
I
was
sucked.
the worst. Yeah, I sucked. Like, be glad I started Gun Gamers in my like mid to late 20s because early 20s, man, like gross, ew.
There's a bunch of trees coming up. Let's see what happens to this signal.
Oh,
no.
God.
Ask your questions, hurry!
Quick, the meaning of life is.
Don't worry, guys. We only have 5 hours and 52 minutes left on this drive, so we got time to stream.
Well, we gotta eat at some point.
Yeah, if that battery goes down, I can pass you another one.
Can we live stream at dinner and just really upset a waitress?
No, we're not doing that. I'm not subjecting some poor random waitress to our absolute bullshit.
Oh, we should have done it cheap.
Okay,
Okay, use
here's-
their Wi-Fi.
Here's one. How do you drive back for 12 plus hours after an event? I get tired after 24-hour events and pray to God somebody else is driving.
So for this game, we actually got a hotel. So first of all, as a civilian at this game, you are going to be much more rested, or maybe, I don't know. It depends on how late you stay up, right?
I'm going to bed at 11 every night.
Yeah, I'm not.
Lame.
Fucking Vampire Club, dude.
One guy has to be at the store at 8, and that's going to be me, and I will be getting up at 7 both days. That's fine. You all just have a wonderful time.
My brother just texted me penis. Literally just that word.
No context?
No, he just does that when he wants to get my attention, but I'm driving, so I can't do that. But anyway, but yeah, so at this game, I should be more rested, so driving back shouldn't hopefully be too bad, but
The last one was a little rough.
Yeah, the last game was ball car, and I was up for most of that game, and I did a lot of movements. So that's where you run into issues where this has us getting off here.
Yeah, I think we're finally done with 81.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we done with? I thought it had a lot more on 81. Sorry,
It also could have been just traffic. Follow this, please. Stop putting us in traffic jams.
Yeah, I'll just follow it. Yeah. So anyway, for this one, it's going to be better, but we also got a hotel
That's
like an hour and a half away.
The key to this is like kind of money, almost to a point. Is that like literally to a point? It's willing to spend money on yourself to be like, oh, get a hotel, even if just after the event.
And it adds an extra day to the event on either end, but I only do one or two of these really far drive ones like a year, so
Yeah.
whatever. I can spare 5 days.
Oh, I traveled way too much this year. This is going to be my last major travel for the year.
Ball car, admittedly, me and Eric made some mistakes, so we were both driving back and like looking at each other. We're like, who's less tired? And we just rotate off for like an hour. It was fine.
Yeah, we made it work. Just going straight says similar ETA.
You pick, little guy. It's your call.
I mean,
Your call. You got 0.2
Hey,
miles.
Chad, which way
Make
should we
a
go?
decision.
I'm just gonna go straight
Chad,
and stay
go
on
forward or
81.
make a turn?
I'm just
Too
gonna
late, too
stay.
late.
I'm just gonna stay on 81. That makes more sense to me, to
Okay.
put it bluntly.
No,
I don't know
put a poll
why.
in the chat. Let them decide
It's
for
too
us.
late.
I'm not
Aw.
doing that. Anyway, so yeah, because this is gonna have us stay on for another 78 miles. Like, why would we?
Oh boy.
Ooh, here's a good question.
Yeah.
And I will give my answer right away. Personal preference for an event: Woodland versus urban versus open fields. Woodland all day. Woodland's my world. Urban is too close. You get shot in the face all the time. There's no. It's so hard to do urban where you're gonna win without taking shitloads of casualties in the process. And open field sucks because they're not real guns and we don't have that range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go, Nick.
Urban. I mean, and now for me, I'm talking more from filming. It's more fun to film people in buildings and stuff where they're like interacting with objects and whatnot than just in the woods, because it's just easy to see outlines. It's also, though, play-wise, I like urban because, again, it's just easier for me to see people. That might just be straight like a vision thing with my glasses.
So Woodland is my bread and butter. It's where I grew up. It's where I've like started playing. It's where I played the most. You know, I spent a lot of time in the woods, you know, outside of airsoft. So Woodland is my jam. I love Woodland Airsoft. But my favorite mix is when you have a semi-urban area
in the middle of the woods,
surrounded by woodland.
Yeah,
I will
that's
admit,
fun.
I like
That's
that the
fun.
best as well. That the two to combine.
Yeah, like the like Panthera is a really good AO for that type of stuff, which Milsom West doesn't use anymore, but like Grimnir still uses. Radiant Center has like some woodland around the urban center, but the urban centers for airsoft, this is where I think the biggest issue comes in. It does not take a lot to just gridlock urban airsoft. It can take only like 1 or 2 well-placed machine guns, and you are gridlocking that area.
Just talking about Guardian Centers last December.
Yeah, well, and it's just
Locked down those corners and just sat on them.
yeah, and it's just it sucks. Like CQB sucks. You know, even in the real military, what's the number one rule of CQB? Don't.
Yeah.
Like CQB sucks. And that's, you know, some people really like that, but
Lee goes boxing gym forever, bro. I don't know if you got into our building much when you were doing
No,
it.
no,
We were
I
literally, the first floor is a boxing ring. We just lived there for like a day and a half. It was
no,
pretty good.
I was on the outskirts snitching on Russ 4.
All right, Lee also has a question about civilian. What's the balance between the spending of Milsim money versus real money, and what is typically sold for each?
So at these types of insurgency games, you typically have storefronts that will take, because all in-game transactions at Milsim West insurgency games, right? All of them have to have an exchange of in-game money. So that can be whatever amount, but like some amount of in-game money has to happen, but you can also charge real money. And I find that it's usually like most places that are selling like food or, you know, those types of things, that they had to buy materials, they had to bring down a grill,
Like
they had to do all
guy
that.
who's doing the custom figure, the Warhammer 40K.
He is doing custom Warhammer painting.
I mean, that's pretty badass.
That's pretty
Well,
great.
Yeah.
That's like a thing. He's like real dollars, like because he's actually making something.
True.
Yeah, so there usually is like some real money for a lot of stuff. But then there are some people like us, because we can split the cost of the amount of cola we need for the weekend between enough people that it's not financially burdensome. So we're just like, yeah, you know, we would spend that money on pyro or night vision rentals or whatever for other games. So for this one, we'll just spend it on cola and Fight Milk product, and we sell for in-game currency. So we usually wind up selling a lot for in-game currency. There's usually a few other people there who sell for in-game currency only, offering like, you know, different services. But generally speaking, expect to bring some cash, some real cash, but you're always going to be spending in-game currency.
I don't think at the last one, I don't think I even spent $20. And
I spent $20 one place, and that was the Vampire Club.
You're an idiot. But I understand. But like, I got a couple drinks, got some coffees, got a hot dog a couple times, like stuff like that. And it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, as a new player or as someone who's new going to it, I bought like $100 in cash, and already I feel like I haven't gone to it, but I feel like that's going to be excessive amount.
I feel like you brought $80 in cash and I brought 20. You know what I mean? I don't think you're getting it.
But yeah, so definitely
It
like
took me too long to get that.
and you know, I'm a big fan of the in-game currency only for how we do things, because I don't like, you know, I don't like having to deal with like
Real change?
real money and real change, and I think it's fun. I think it's more fun personally to like be able to just do the in-game currency for that, and then you get like the leg up, because when you sell things for in-game currency only, well, everyone wants to buy your stuff, because then it's like, oh, I don't have to spend real money on this, and I get something dope.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also, to me, it seems like a more
then you had
fun
the
experience.
And then you had the, I don't want to call them the G word, because that's not a good word apparently.
Oh.
But I do like the vagrants who were living in the hills at Saratov Resurgency. They were like doing barter, so they would bring stuff down, and they would have like, you would just barter with them and stuff like that. So it just all depends on how people are LARPing, right?
Yeah.
But I was saying, like, I like the idea of the in-game money too, because one, it gets you more comfortable spending it because it's not real, so you get to have more of the role-play experiences of, you know, going to the stores, you know, bribing an official, you know, paying somebody to deliver something, whatever.
But also, if you prevent people from selling for real money too, that's where like I like the balance Milsom West has, Because if you prevent people from selling real money, well, that's going to limit what people can and want to bring.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to lose your ass spending hundreds of dollars.
I've also seen people bring, like, their spare gear closet down, basically, and they're like, yeah, I'm a weapons vendor. And they're like, that's cool, but they're not going to do that for in-game money.
Right.
I mean, Eric might, but Eric does, like, every 3 years, he clears out half his house. He's like, yeah.
Well, yeah, they're going to try and actually sell it for real money.
I think the best was Eastern Front, where I just had the box.
Eric's like, here's a box of crap. Take it or it's staying in the parking lot.
Hey, that's how I got my new pistol.
There you go.
Was it in there?
It was at Metro. I don't know whose box of crap it was.
Somebody brought a box of crap. That's the best
But
way.
that's
Have you
the thing,
ever?
somebody was like, I'm not taking this anywhere. Oh, free things. Oh, boy. You know?
Yeah.
This needs a mag. That needs a new, thing.
We have 18 people in here right now.
Oh God. I'm
can't
sorry,
believe it.
guys. This disorganized, like, stupid car stream. I feel like I should be. I feel like I should be ranting about things.
We're
right?
ranting, but the problem is we're sober, and we have to be because we're in the car.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, I have to be. You don't have to be. But you also can't drink right now because you're in the car.
If only we stayed in West Virginia longer. There's no open container law in West Virginia. Yes.
And
Connecticut is surprising. I would have never thought Connecticut would be the type of place to have that, like, X-1 rule, but you can have open containers for everybody in the car except the driver in Connecticut. How ridiculous.
I got a good question here.
Oddly specific.
What are your thoughts on using vehicles in events? How would you handle armored vehicles versus technicals?
So
I have so many feelings about this topic.
So my number one thing with vehicles at events is if it's going to take multiple grenades to kill, it should be an actually armored vehicle.
Yes.
So not like a pickup truck or something.
No, like an
Or
actual BMP.
or
Yes.
whatever. That's
Or
like
at least like an up-armored Humvee.
something that would clearly look like, hey, that's not going to be taken out with a grenade
Yeah.
or
Right.
something.
Yeah, like a frag grenade isn't going to shred all of the occupants of this thing by landing 5 feet away.
Right.
Because real frag grenades do very bad things to not armored vehicles, it turns out. And I hate, like, the cheese that can come in with a lot of vehicles at some games. I've been to some games I won't name where I felt like the vehicles were much more of a detriment to the quality than any kind of enhancement, because you just wind up getting these vehicles that take a ridiculous number of grenades to kill, or they are just way too overpowered. Half the time, I gotta tell you, one of my least favorite things to deal with in vehicles is sometimes it's the people using them.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I
if
think
I-
there's a lot of things in airsoft is the people behind it.
Yeah, like sometimes, I'll see somebody like on a gun in a vehicle and they'll just have their arms up on the gun,
and
just barely
yeah.
poking their head out, like basically
Yeah.
blind firing. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, like I wouldn't be against that, just one because it's a bad form, but also because it's blind firing.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah, like my big thing with vehicles is they need to have a strict speed limit for safety reasons,
Oh, yeah.
and also for game balance reasons, because otherwise you just have them speeding everywhere in the
Yeah.
AO. I'm also not fond of having it where you need multiple grenades to kill it unless it's an up-armored vehicle.
Yep.
And I don't count a pickup truck with plywood on it as up-armored.
Also,
I just don't.
I'm just going to go out there and say, for most vehicles in Airsoft, for most games, I think where they can be more advantageous is if you set them up in like a troop carrier.
Like a logistical way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no guns.
More so,
but like the,
or if they have all mounted guns, fine, but don't use it as like, that's our point every time. Because honestly, if for no other reason, if both teams don't have that, if you've ever been on the receiving end of it, it's just not fun. It's stupid. Like, there's no way you're going to take it out. You're going to find squads who don't have guys that can take it out. And so it's just unrealistic. Like, if I have 8 guys in a squad and we unload on this truck, but somehow it's still, like, effective and it can still just wipe us, like, from a game balance perspective, that's just boring in the long run. People are just going to get burned out and bored of the game because, every time the Jeep comes, we got to go hide because I can't possibly do anything against it.
I'm also a big fan of, like, people in vehicles should not be invincible, like drivers.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
I like the way the rules are at, like, Milsom West. Take a drink if you have a drink. But I like the way the rules are where, just because you're driving a vehicle doesn't mean that you're safe. Like, put those windows down, and if you get shot, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I want vehicles to be almost so fragile that they need a they need a lot more troop support.
Yeah.
Because that's how vehicles are
In most
everywhere.
vehicles,
Yeah, like you're not just going to have juggernaut vehicles, and I feel like part of the problem is a lot of vehicles, and I'm going to make statements that sound like generalizations, but I promise you I'm not meaning them that way. But some vehicles that I've interacted with, the owners seem less interested in having a fun tactical tool and more interested in just having a juggernaut that can't be taken down.
Because I was just thinking
Like
that.
they're going for the kill streak.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, I feel like, if they bought a vehicle, they bought it because now they want to make it the most useful in their mind. And for them, the most useful is to get as many kills as possible. So they set it up in some bizarro Pope Mobile configuration or something.
God.
Where the gunner's invincible and can just spin 360 and light people up with HPA. It's dumb. It's
Yeah,
goofy.
I also
you want
think
a technical where the dude can get blasted. That's great. That's fine. But
I also think frag grenades should kill vehicles,
Yes.
to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
if a frag grenade lands in range of a vehicle, I think that should disable it. Because, again, real unarmored vehicles are fucking fragile.
yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, it's, and again, I like the idea of, like, something like Milsom West having vehicles, even if it's more of almost set pieces, where, like, you know, let's say there's some security station, they've got a vehicle there, that sure, if you started shit, they would shoot you, but, like, it's almost there more of, like, to look threatening and be, like, a part of, like, a checkpoint or something.
Yeah, I do like seeing vehicles used, like, in logistical roles. I like seeing vehicles used in light tactical roles with plenty of troop support.
Yep.
And I like seeing vehicles used in, like, fun, creative game ways where maybe there's, you know, a reason that the vehicle has to carry something that's, like, really heavy so people can carry it.
I was talking to Kyle about this the other day, actually. We were talking about vehicles, and one of the things we were discussing was I feel like it would be a more even playing field if...
We're doing so well.
If you have staff embedded with a vehicle, any vehicle that's out there. A place where it, like, drove me nuts that they had one, because in real life it just would not have been an issue, was at Guardian Center last year. They brought that BMP up, they parked it directly in front of the only gate we had access to on that side of the field, and they just parked it.
Well, yeah, but that thing got taken out.
Well, yeah,
quick.
but like, in real life, you could go cut the fence, blow a hole, do what the fuck ever, and you flank around it. We were just stuck for like an hour fighting dudes that were laying under a now disabled giant brick wall, basically. You know? And I feel like if you had staff embedded, you'd be like, okay, it's disabled, put a kill light on, move it out after like 10 minutes, you know? We're not gonna sit this thing, just because, like, for gameplay-wise, there's always that balance between what's realistic and what's, like, gonna have some balance to make the game reasonable. We had a lot of dudes that were burning out that first night, because that was, like, our infill, and we burned to, like, black ammo in that firefight. We got through, but, like, it was a lot. That was a lot of shooting. Okay, we're gonna move on, because there's other questions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer this one first. Thought on UAVs at events.
They should be allowed to be shot.
Yeah, if it's gonna be there, fine. It can get taken out, though. We heard one overhead at Balcar, and what drove me nuts is both sides don't have it. I'm not supposed to shoot their stuff, but they might be looking overhead and going, oh, look, they have exactly 3 guys on this point, 2 guys on this point. They can see with thermals or whatever, and, like, both sides don't have access to that, and if I can't shoot it, that just gives them a massive advantage that I can't even try to negate.
Yeah, I think you can bring your UAV, but it should be allowed to be shot. I just don't like the idea of somebody bringing this UAV and being like, oh, well, I just want to be able to see everybody with no potential consequences.
Yeah.
Because, you know, then you could bring it up high out of range and still get an eye in the sky, but understand that if you try to get close enough and, like, navigate in a way that's risky,
that's all.
There's a risk.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of invincible UAVs, but if the UAV can be shot, then yeah, fair game.
I liked how they did it at Guardian Center. They had it was cadre run, and so they would feed
and those things were way out of airsoft range.
Sure. But what I mean is, they ran by cadre and they fed you the intel they wanted to feed you. So they weren't giving you everything all the time. But, like, you know, they could give you little bits here and there, but, like, it wasn't the same as a player just sitting there from his fob constantly monitoring, right?
Again, I think the idea is neat. I I don't think the technology is there where it can be used that often.
Yeah.
So like, it's also the kind of thing that's like neat, but I don't think it's ever going to be that mainstream thing at the point.
All right, back to vehicles. A different question with it. What about making a command support vehicle with radio repeaters and tactical buffs like extra medic water and stuff like that?
That's where I think vehicles make a lot of sense.
Yes.
That's logistical use of
And again,
vehicles.
'cause
That's
now
fucking awesome.
A goal of the other team to take it out and get points or whatever.
Well,
Also-
you don't even need to get points. You take out that vehicle,
Well, yeah.
and then you've got like
You got
all their
medic water,
logistics
yeah,
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can take the logistics. Even.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
However,
That's the fun use.
screw the radio repeater, have a competent RTO, and you'll have no problem covering the battle space.
Well, so you'd think.
I did fine, thank you.
A repeater would have done well when we started getting far out at Balcar.
Yeah. Did you? I don't know if I ever gave you the info on it. There was a point where I'm back behind all the lines, like we're back closer to the fob, and you guys. Then it's what? Then it was. What was it? It was Jim, and then you guys, and I was receiving you guys and relaying it to Jim, who's in between me and you.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Just a daisy chain of communication.
Yeah, like I was the farthest away, but I was catching the most. Repeaters are sweet, but get yourself some kick-ass radio equipment and you can do decent stuff too.
I mean, so there's occasions where repeaters are definitely useful.
Slim Jim antennas are sweet. Thanks, Mark. I appreciated the free one. It was awesome. That's going in the keg loaner kit forever, so thank you. You can't tell me the gate assault wasn't one of the craziest openings you've seen. It was awesome. It was very cool. But from a leadership perspective, I will tell you, there were dudes getting gassed between all the platoons. So I mean,
but I also think
Yeah.
for a Super Bowl like that was.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I wasn't in this fight. I was watching it, like being
Yeah.
like, "Hey, BMP's here. There's dudes here. Good kill. Nice frag."
It was cool. It was very cool.
And for a Super Bowl, they wanted that
Yeah.
opening. Like they wanted a big firefight opening. Like
I just-
that's where I think like I have a different. But
Yeah.
maybe because I wasn't in it and I just got to watch it. And I was
just-
like, neat.
From my perspective, being
Oh, they lost.
I was literally at the front of that entire time. And I'll tell you, from my perspective, if you got us through that 20 minutes earlier, no one would have complained. But in that last 20 people, like I had to go up to Cadre and was like, "Yo, I'm losing guys. I'm worried they're gonna like ditch for the day if they can't get in here at some point because people are just getting frustrated."
That's just. I mean, yeah, but at a certain point, like.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where like I don't even think that's necessarily on the designer. Like you just gotta work for it.
That, believe me, if you were there, you would have heard my words.
Yeah.
Hand me the camera quick so I can.
Hold on, we're fixing things.
Yeah, you'll get seasickness or whatever they call it, motion sickness.
Also, someone mentioned that if we slam the brakes, that this red container is going to kill you. I
Yeah.
just wanted you to know that.
Yeah. That's all right. I deserve it.
Hold on, temporary intermission.
Okay, should be good. All of you wondering if there will be an intermission.
There will not.
There will not.
You've got one or two more clicks of light if you need to add it.
Oh, for sure we need it.
Okay.
All right, and if we need to, I don't know if Eric will manage
Actually,
that.
that isn't.
Yeah, I
That's not
can
too
deal.
bad for you.
All right.
Does that do anything for me?
Let me see.
I've got the
It
little.
actually
mini
helps
light.
you a little.
I've got a little mini light above me, like that airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that doesn't bug you
All
too
right. Do
much,
we have
Eric,
any
that's-
any other good questions?
Yeah, I'm working.
Work harder. What am I not paying you for?
You're not paying me at this event. Leave me alone.
One of the few.
Okay, let me catch up.
So while he's looking at that, can I piggyback on the UAV thing?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Do you think that more technology would be a good thing in airsoft? Like,
Well, I mean that's a vague question, right?
I know,
Like,
but like using more technological elements in it. So like I know there's Fox events. They have the app,
Yeah.
the Blue Fox tracker and stuff like that.
my biggest thing with like the technology aspect of all that type of stuff is you have to use it at places where it's relevant. Like the UAV thing, for example. If you're at a heavily wooded facility, probably not that relevant unless you somehow have a thermal equipped UAV that you
Yeah.
can safely get up over the tree line, and even then you gotta hope it can pierce the tree line. Otherwise you'd be trying to weave between trees and you're just screwed.
Yeah.
Whereas then, the Desert Fox app, you have to have service.
And and unfortunately, the place at least I've played it with is EMR. Unfortunately, you usually don't have service.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, like, the technology is really cool. It just needs to be at the places where it can be best utilized. Again, technological integration into airsoft is a super open-ended topic. It's just, it all needs to flow in a way that adds to the internal consistent logic of the game. Like Desert Fox events is built around the app.
Sure.
Yes.
You have the battlefield style tickets, you have the control points represented on there. That's all a part of it. Then you've got like Grimnir has different levels of technology with like drones and stuff, and they've built like a lot of their rule set around that.
Yeah.
You have to have those rules laid out ahead of time and like play tested and thought out. And where I think a lot of people who are like smaller promoters that I've seen can sometimes get into trouble is that they just think, oh, well, I want to offer all this technology and do all these things, but they don't really consider how it integrates into the gameplay and whether or not that's really what players are expecting or looking for based on everything they've put out about that game so far.
Yeah.
And that's something that obviously is just about like getting that practice with tailoring your marketing, tailoring your rule set, tailoring the experience.
All right, we got a lot more questions. So
Okay.
we're gonna move down.
Okay.
All right. This is actually for you, Richard. Would you ever consider live streaming during a game? As
Yes.
an international viewer, I would love that, he says.
So, I think I even mentioned there was I don't know if it was Instagram or Facebook, but there was a guy, I want to say it's Swerve Smash, but they had done the GoPro live stream. Well, you had mentioned like, oh, that's so much gear. Like, that's something I would love to do with my camera on a gimbal.
Yeah.
I'd love to do something like that, like especially like Milsom West or Overture or something. Well, not Overture, sorry, Gun Gamers Productions.
Yeah.
Where there's like a big fight or some sort of set piece kind of, like maybe a force and force thing, but being able to have a way to do that signal live, because I think that'd be one of a unique thing. And then I would love, like you said, for the international viewers, I think it'd be, or just the viewers in general.
Yeah.
Milsom West again is somewhat usually in the West. So having people on the East Coast be able to see something live, I think is such a unique and kind of.
Well, and regardless of any event promoter, right? Like, it's just cool to be able to give
it
people.
doesn't have to be Milsom West. It could be anyone. But the idea of streaming something kind of with a fairly high kind of production value, I guess, is what I thought. I don't want to go to open play and kind of stream something. That's neat, but not that neat. I want to go to some place where they've got, they've established themselves, so the game is going to be good.
Or at least interesting.
Yeah, at least interesting. Someone where I know it's not going to waste my time, and other viewers' time, because again, people that set aside the time to watch it, and so like, I would love to do that. Absolutely. I'm actually looking into something like that, sort of. There's a lot of gear to work out. Sorry. I'm really excited about doing like live stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's all right. All right, this one I love this question for this game.
On the live stream on the road.
What LMGs are you bringing? Would you ever consider an RPA-16? We're bringing one LMG to this game because we're civvies, and it's got a gun lock because it's a decorative piece.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I am bringing my chopped RPD as a decoration piece. It will have a gun lock holding on a barrel cover because there is no loaded or live weapons allowed in any areas that we can set up shop, but we wanted to have this display piece for our shop, and as a result, we've done our due diligence to make sure that it stays safe and locked up, and it will stay safe and locked up the entire weekend.
Yeah.
It will never, ever be fired in anger.
That would not happen.
I'm certain it will never, ever, ever find its way out into.
We're gonna literally get murdered by this truck. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's great because someone asked, are you guys excited for a calm and quiet weekend with nothing but labor? Because there will be 0 random acts of violence. And
it's
going to be super chill.
Yes, I can't wait to work my safest job yet as the marketing director of Wolf Cola.
We at Wolf Cola are sorry for the events in the past.
Yes.
And
we will
be
never
as non-controversial as possible.
We will never be controversial again.
Ever.
We're being told we need to go to Japan for a whiskey tour. I would like to do
know.
that. I would like to do that.
I know. Did I tell you that my girlfriend randomly got me a bottle of Hakushu?
No.
My favorite Japanese whiskey.
Wait, is that the fancy one you had at your birthday?
Push it. And then using the shutter dial at the front, on the back, Make it to 32. You should see on the screen.
32?
Yeah.
That's like really
300, 3200.
Yeah. That's like what?
Go all the way to the other direction.
Oh, 3200, not
Yes,
320.
6400 actually.
There we go.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
And
And
then
that's
you can leave it. You don't have to touch it.
okay.
This wants us to get off again. Should I just do it or should I stay on
Eric,
I
air?
mean, you
I
listened
always-
the first time.
I'm just gonna stay.
I always want to get off, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, Chad, are we still here?
Oh
yeah.
no, we're working. We're working.
Okay, cool.
All right. So what was this
Okay, so
story?
at your birthday,
Oh,
while you
God.
were like, schmoozing with your family or whatever, I went over and I was like, "Well, look at this fancy whiskey," and then I just mixed it with just straight Diet Coke, and I offended everyone. And they're like, "Do not let Eric see what you're doing." They're like, "That's like the most expensive whiskey that's up here." And it just reminded me because you have the Japanese one up there too, and I was just like, "No, Diet Coke in this," and they're like, "You're gonna give him a stroke." They're like, "Don't do this." It was great.
I just love
I mean, hey, the
This
best
is
whiskey is the whiskey you like to drink the way you like to drink it. And it's not my fault that you are a savage.
Swatted light.
Uh,
Decent signal there.
I hope
miles
not.
ago.
There we go. We're live again.
Ooh,
Yay.
sorry, that was a bad patch.
Yeah, so as for streaming at this game, we're not sure if we're going to be able to do.
Guys, we're going through a little bit of a
We're going through a tunnel.
rough area.
Yeah,
so it's going to cut in and out, but it'll pick up in a second. It'll be better. Oh God, what?
What do we got?
Oh, are you excited for any upcoming Airsoft releases?
I mean, not really. I would say like my big thing with Airsoft releases is we're at the point right now where most things coming out are internally the same as a lot of other things that have already come out. So we're basically just getting reskins of existing products. And it doesn't really feel like there's a whole lot happening that I'm that excited for.
I will say I've been happy in the last 12 to 24 months with the amount of just classic like SOP mod M4s that they re-released. Because they seem to have they were disappearing and everything was key mod or some dumb shit. And then they're like, you know what, let's just go back to big, bulky, old M4s, and I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the only thing I'm excited for is, I guess Umarex just came out with the MG4, and that's neat because it's cool and it's neat to see a new gun, and that one is actually kind of a neat system. But I mean, I just would have to see it before I could even say if I'm that excited about it. And I'm personally probably not going to buy it because I already own 3 machine guns.
Why not 4?
I mean,
Because
I'll take your Mark 46.
Yeah, then you only got 2. I'll take your RPD. Then you only got 1. You got
Yeah,
to right?
yeah.
See,
No.
we're hoping we'll
Yeah,
find
No.
helping
No.
you.
I would say if I'm
Damn
gonna
it.
be excited for any Airsoft releases, it would probably be, I mean, maybe the NGRS MP5 is pretty cool. But a lot of my thing with Airsoft where I'm at right now is my tastes are so specific
And
Yeah.
stupid.
yeah, that I'm just buying all this stuff that's very specific to my taste. I don't really buy Airsoft stuff for the sake of buying Airsoft stuff anymore. I used to buy guns just to review them, and now I'm just well, I really don't want to do that because I don't want to spend that amount of money to buy something that I may or may not even like and then sell it at a loss. And, I'm not really getting guns sent to me at this point.
Yeah, that's what
and
you got to fix. You got to get free stuff sent to you.
yeah,
So
right.
you can
But
always sell it at a profit.
nobody likes me enough to send me free stuff, which I don't care. That's fine. I accept that. I have everything I need. I don't need free stuff
Listen,
from people.
I
21
care.
people.
I want free things.
21 people in this chat. Everyone just pitch in
Yes.
$10 and buy me something.
Please don't do that.
No, don't do that, please.
That's at
However,
least a case of pyro.
someone mentioned the TM Saiga 12. I would
Oh,
be interested.
okay,
in that.
yeah, I forgot about
so
that.
I love shotguns, and that is something I'm super excited for.
My problem is I already know I will never buy it because where would I use it?
Everywhere.
Any shotgun that doesn't have ejecting shells and actually functions well, I might actually use. My GNP 870 that I used to have, I
You had a GNP 870?
I didn't realize they were going out of production when I sold it, and then they just disappeared off eBay about 6 months later, and I'm like, oh.
But it was single shot, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yes, but it was like a sniper rifle pump action, and it
Get a
was
sniper
great.
rifle.
No, I love the shotgun. It was
I'll tell you what I'll tell you what I'm excited for is when they inevitably make the new SIG M250 as an airsoft gun.
Oh, yeah.
Because I will absolutely buy one of those to flex for like an ultra modern keg grunt kit.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. It is kind of fun to be excited when they announce like new weapon platforms and stuff, because eventually the airsoft versions will come out.
Yeah, like the new SIG Spear, the M5 rifle. Like, I'm excited for that. That'll be neat.
All right, I got a question. Cyma Platinum MP5. Any thoughts on that?
The only thing I can say about Cyma Platinums is sometimes their electronics like to have gremlins. Like Corey's MOSFET on his burned out pretty quick. Weldon, one of our buddies on RR Pennant, he had a Cyma XM177 and the MOSFET burned out kind of quick. Some guys I know have had really good luck with those stock trigger units, and they haven't burned out. They fixed.
We're pretty good. It's not too.
That I don't know what your budget is, but the VFC MP5 is beautiful.
Yeah, but that's way more expensive than
it is.
Cyma Platinum.
I have no clue what the Cyma Platinum runs.
I think it's got like a solid $100-$150 on the Cyma Platinum.
That's not too bad.
Well, I mean, it's $100-$150.
Eric, what's the key to happiness?
I mean, it's crippling debt, but still.
Listen, just take out a high-interest loan, probably for more than you need, and then just get other stuff. Get some night
Can we
vision.
just, like, imagine that we're flashing over this right now? This is not real financial advice.
We here at Gun Gamers have in no way, shape, or form have any kind of financial legal advice to give to anyone or ourselves.
I got an interest rate of 24.99. They said it was the highest one I could get.
Hell yeah.
It was
High
great.
score.
High score.
I'm so interested.
It's the same one I got on my Mustang.
This bad boy's gonna put you in a full-on debt.
Bye, Lee.
We got any other good questions?
Yeah.
My God, I can't believe you people.
I'm jumping back into airsoft after 13 years.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Nice. Who has a good non-laser rifle M4 or M16 early 2000 style good for Milson? That is a great kite question.
So we have several options of those that exist now in the market. King Arms has an M4A1 that they make
Isaac
now.
just loves it.
Yeah, that one is apparently pretty good. Ryan had some more problems with it than Isaac has, so it might be, indicative of typical
production model
quality control shit. The VFC Avalon, the SOP mod is really good. Evic has a bunch of different old school SOP mod models on their website under EMG. I want to say there's a split of like G&P, King Arms, Cyma Platinum, and ICS even as different manufacturers. The old school non-i5 G&Ps, I've had pretty good luck with their
TikTok.
Hey,
Eric.
Hey, there we go.
You're coming back after 13 years, so I'm guessing there's a chance you're a little older and a little more financially stable at this point. If you want to burn a little bit extra money, I did a Maple Armories SOP mod M4.
Well, yeah, they had their Mark 18.
Their Mark 18, and then I did a little work on it, and I changed the front set and the stock, which is not a lot of work, honestly. And I put a max hop-up in it, and that thing is just amazing. It just shoots absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I would say my favorite of everything mentioned is the Avalon SOP mod, just as like a well-rounded,
it's great out of the box
nice platform. Good out of the box generally, but the Maple Armory is a really good gun. It's more expensive, and it's a Mark 18 as opposed to like an M4A1. But if you want,
be me, buy a second upper with it, and then have swappable uppers. What up? And then immediately sell the second upper because you're like, nah, I'm just keg all the time now. It's great. All right, here we go. As longtime Milsim guys, are there any better options than the UV5R for a radio? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so the UV82, even Baofeng makes a better radio than the UV5R. The UV82 HP specifically is much better than the UV5R, but even better than both is the Islands radios. So those are...
Which is spelled AILUNCE.
Yeah.
If you're looking them up.
Yeah, those are really good radios. Then there's also like different options from Motorola. There's wide varieties of radios. I personally think that like as a cheaper budget option, the UV82 HP is pretty decent.
Yeah.
But I personally am looking to invest in one of the Islands radios because those are like really, really nice. A lot of the MSW cadre and Corey got one,
Yeah.
and those are like really good radios, and they have a lot of capability.
Yeah, they've got a lot of features that are more of like a higher quality radio, like any of your peripherals, like your mics or anything, they screw on, like they mount on.
Oh, so you don't click
yeah,
in place.
yeah.
Mount.
Like so they will not pop loose. They will not get interfered by water.
You do have to buy
any of
like adapters for a lot of that stuff, but that's fine.
But-
I would rather have it be secure.
And the other thing is, it's like a $200 based radio. So, like, you're investing in that. If you want a budget option, the UV82 is miles beyond the UV5R and is still pretty affordable. It's under $100. I think they're only like $50. They're not bad.
Yeah.
And
One
you get
thing-
2-channel monitoring and.
One thing with the UV82 HP though, is when the battery starts to get low, and it doesn't even tell you this, because it will not tell you that your battery is getting low, but mine always stops sending and receiving traffic well, and as soon as I like realize that I'm losing people, I have to swap batteries, because it doesn't tell you that it's not outputting or receiving at the power it should be when the battery starts to run low. And that's a really annoying feature of the 82. Maybe it's just mine, like maybe there's something. Oh, there we go, we're back. But yeah, I get like...
Battery's probably ghosting anyway.
Guys, we are starting to lose a lot of connection. It's been wonderful. We love you all. Have a wonderful night. And I'm guessing we'll pop back on